that men tend to disregard you, especially in positions where they have been dominant. And when I was first working in sports radio, that was a big problem because the men, being the first woman to work there with them, they gave me a hard time. They really set me up. And how did I overcome them? I basically overcome them by kept telling myself if I just did more and was better at whatever I had to do, they would eventually see my value.
One of the long-standing struggles for women was the fact of finding a sense of belonging. We know we belong, but society hasn't always made that easy for us to believe it. But as we can see nowadays, and even before now, we've always represented in various types of realms.
The biggest struggles I've had being a woman is sometimes I struggle with confidence, and especially being in a major full of men, because I always feel like for some reason I'm not good enough compared to a man, when in reality that's not true.
I think women are undervalued in every aspect in general. So we can do a lot more than society thinks we can do. And I mean, I guess prove them wrong.
The woman that inspires me most in my life is my grandmother. My grandmother has gone through a mental illness struggle, and she still stands strong and is a positive role model every day. And she is there to always tell you that everything's going to be okay.
I would say above all, Mickey Powell. So she, I grew up in San Francisco, and from the time I was 3, she was my dance teacher. What I learned from Mickey was the value of being disciplined, and she always had a kind word, but she also spoke the truth all the time. So I thought about, what is it to be compassionate but firm, and that, I always go back to Mickey.
The woman that has influenced me the most has been my mom. It's cheesy, but I mean, who else would have been there my entire life? And she's a single mom who raised 3 kids on her own. I think she did a solid job.
So RBG is my favorite, and getting to learn more about her and understanding her from watching On the Basis of Sex or the movie RBG, both of them were very inspiring, and I realized what a real true life hero she is. She did a lot in our society to help improve gender equality and inclusion and to really move forward women's rights.
My mother, for sure, has always been quite independent and strong and incredibly intelligent. And so I look up to her a lot. And then I also have 3 very independent aunts who have been wonderful role models. And just seeing them navigate life the way they do has been a huge thing.
Mary Wright Elderman has really been one of those that I've looked to as a female woman in that realm of caring for the next generation.
I think Women's History Month is an important chance to be able to step back and hear those voices and hear and learn more about what women have been able to do and accomplish.
Women's History Month should mean a lot to everyone, because women have been overlooked, I feel like, in history and in the past, even though they've made amazing contributions to history and to science and to so many different fields.
And until basically men and women are treated equal, I think having a special month that calls this out and also puts the perspective on women in film, women in the media in various ways, until that is an equal place to be, I think we need to call that attention every chance we get.
Part of the problem is the underlying patriarchy that continues to exist, and the fact that we even need a Women's History Month is still, I think, a symptom of a much larger issue that affects women everywhere. So we just have to keep working and keep insisting that we have a voice at the table.
I think it's really important to have Women's History Month because it makes all of us kind of look back at all the women in the past and what they've done to influence how women are viewed now.
Women's History Month means to me a time of reflection and really a readjustment if need be.
I think that it's important to highlight the fact that we even need a Women's History Month in the first place. Basically, that indicates that the structures by which we deem important historical events didn't include female voices. And so I hope that eventually we don't even need to think about it and it's just fully integrated into all of history, or at least the retelling, recounting of history.
Words that describe women:
Wise,
Powerful,
Determined,
Discriminated.
confidence,
insightful,
Resilience.
Amazing.